Hey, how's it going, everybody? Phlinger here, and have you ever been wanting to have the kind of stuff that you have for your herbivores, like you have for your carnivores here on Ark? Well, you go, you grab your prime meat, you grab your mutton, and you use that to tame things. Well, guess what? Now you do. Now we have stuff that is available for herbivores that can actually be used just like mutton and prime meat. It is absolutely amazing, and it comes from these guys, the Archelon. These guys are absolutely amazing here on, well, just about any map that has water will actually have these things spawn on them. I actually think they're easier to tame on the Asterios map, but, granted, you can get them on the island, you can get them on the center, you can get them all over, but these guys are actually pretty cool, and if you're on the Asterios map, they're actually so much easier to tame there, so if you have access to that, I would recommend go there. It's just easier to tame them. But if you are on the island or on the center and other maps that have a lot of water, they are there. Just know that when you find them out in the wild, you're generally going to have to clear just about everything around them. You still have to do it on the Asterios map, but it's a lot easier to clear off a lot of the stuff in the water around them because everything wants to attack these guys. Because face it, they're a giant turtle. Who wouldn't want to get a piece of that? All right, well, hey, let's jump straight into it, and let's actually start talking about how to tame these guys. Like I said, these guys could be located just about anywhere. And they are a passive tame, and it is generally pretty easy to do. And you'll notice that whenever you find these guys out in the wild, you will usually find a whole bunch of jellyfish near them. It's just how they spawn. The Cnidaria spawn very close to these guys, and I actually think they might spawn together. But yeah, that's one of the easiest ways to actually tame them is with biotoxin. All right, just like every other taming, you take the biotoxin, you put it down on your 0 slot bar, you go find your willing target, sometimes not very willing, and then you go down into the water and give it a tame. Now, you can also use superior kibble, and I would recommend, actually, if you do have access to superior kibble, using that because it is a big bump on the taming effectiveness. Hello. But, yeah, if you only have access to biotoxin at this stage, because they are kind of an early to mid-game tame, actually they're earlier mid-game, if that makes sense, yeah, I would recommend using the biotoxin. It just makes it so much easier. Well, hello. And, of course, the Cnidaria are pretty easy to get rid of. When you're not being surrounded by a whole bunch of dolphins. Dolphins, get out of here, guys. I'm trying to get all his bits, man. I also got to catch up to this guy. Okay, that's not good. But yeah, like I said, everything out in the wild wants to eat these things because they're big, giant turtles. So yeah. All right, now what makes these guys easier on Asterios to tame is because they have a more higher propensity of actually coming up onto land on that map. I have seen it happen on the island, and I have seen it happen on the center. But when they come up on land, not only is it just a little bit safer, not always, but a lot of times, but you can also hop on the back of it and just let them walk around. So you can tame them like the old crystal wyverns, where you can just hop on its back and you can just tame it as it's going about its little business. So you don't have to chase it down. You're just ready to feed it whenever it's ready to go. All right, once you have one of these things, their saddle is actually pretty easy to craft. It can be a little bit hard because of the level that they are at, which is, let's see. It is level 45. So, yeah, in my journey, The metal ingots proved out to be the toughest part of it. But, I mean, your mileage may vary. Yeah, it's just the 200 metal ingots at level 45. It's actually pretty simple to craft these things. Now, also, the fact that it doesn't require any additional stuff like polymer or anything like that is kind of amazing because these guys, they do have a couple really good special abilities. Not only are they a submersible that you could take off of a, say, like trireme, which is how I'm using it, it just... Here, let me come out here. They're really slow on land. They really are. All right. But once you have them out like this, you can actually use these guys kind of like a raft. But instead of being attacked like by lead sickness, you're attacked by everything, which is it could be a bonus. Now these guys, when you have them, they will gather up a ton of fish meat and regular meat, but they won't eat it. You cannot force feed these guys this stuff to eat it. See, it just will not go. What they eat is the berries. But when they're on land, and here, let me show you this. And yeah, I want to really overemphasize just how slow they are on land. I mean, it's pretty good. It really is, but you're not going to break any speed records at all. But also on land, while they only eat berries, they cannot gather berries at all. And I just had to bring him up here on land just to show you they will not gather their own berries. So you have to grab berries, put it in their inventory, and then just let them eat that way. But once they get into the water, they move very, very quickly. Well, as quickly as you would expect a giant tortoise to do. But it's pretty good because these guys, they will actually turn on a dime. I mean, it is impressive just how fast they turn. Yeah. But also, they're just going to sit here above water until you actually use your alt-fire mode, which is the C button on PC, to actually descend very, very quickly. And they go down wicked, wicked fast. Now, when you want to go straight up, you can press the jump key, and that'll take you up. It's not as fast as the descent, but it is pretty dang fast. All right, now you'll also notice that on the bar, on the screen, you'll see if we press H, now we have a little buff called the Archelon air bubbles. Now, these bubbles right here, they will actually give you the ability to breathe. When you're on the saddle, it just removes your oxygen meter, so you can just breathe indefinitely. It's like you hook yourself up to the IV of the scuba tanks right here, and then you could just go that way. Also, this saddle, it's a 5-person saddle. I mean, there's you that is laying down, breathing, plus also each of the other 4 seats on here are public seating. So you can take you and 4 of your buddies out and go on a nice little submarine ride. It's pretty dang cool. All right, and then each of those seats also has infinite air as well. It's very, very cool. Also, there's another special cool little thing. If we come up away from the Archelon, make sure it doesn't get attacked, notice we have our O2 meter actually comes back, which means we're going to be slowly drowning. But if we come down to his saddle, our O2 meter fills up and stops bleeding. So yeah, we now effectively have infinite air. So we can use this guy, come out, gather stuff under the water without scuba, and then come back to him, and then just either stand next to him or just ride him, which will just remove our O2 stat completely, which makes these guys right here one of the earliest guys for getting underwater. It's very, very cool because they're so much lower level than scuba tanks. Also, there's a couple other different cool things these guys get. They get a buff from killing jellyfish because they eat biotoxin. Not only, here, watch this. Not only are they immune to the shock, they also do extra damage, but once you actually eat a jellyfish, you get this buff that is called Jellyfish Killer, which lasts for 90 seconds, which dramatically increases the amount of damage they do. But also you'll notice that it gives you like this little buff, like, the bugs on certain other dinosaurs. So yeah, it gives us a little bit of extra speed, gives us a damage buff, and this will actually make us hit a lot harder, especially on jellyfish, because jellyfish, these guys, they just tear up jellyfish. Yeah. It makes us do double damage against this guy. It's pretty dang impressive. So, yeah. All right, now out of the water. Now these guys, you'll notice how how this guy's slowly been over the course of the video. He's been slowly getting dirtier and dirtier. These guys, they have certain special abilities. Here, you can actually take, and using the reticule, you can harvest the algae off the back of them. Now, there's a timer on here, which is actually kind of cool. I'm enjoying this timer. It'll actually tell you until it's full up. But right now, we can harvest up 6 algae off the back of him, which visually cleans him up, but then also lets you know that there's nothing to harvest on him right now. We just can't do it. There's 0 algae. And it takes 2 full hours to fill up, which is kind of cool. Now, what this stuff does... Here, actually, let me knock this guy out. All right, we take that guy. Come on, dude. I'm showing a video. Take a nap, all right? Thanks. All right, now let's go get a few berries off this guy, and let's show you what a berry will do on him. Let's take 5. All right. Take 5 of those. Stick him on the parasaur, level 20 parasaur. This right here, when he eats, we'll give him 10.7. Now we put this on him. All right, so the other ones gave 10.7. It'll take him a little bit because the algae actually gives him a little bit more food. But here, just watch this. As soon as it goes up, that right there just auto-tamed him. Yeah. Algae is the new mutton. It is absolutely amazing. I'm taking that back. You can't have it. And you're just going to be sitting around here, wandering around, doing your little thing. There you go. Have at it. Go live your best life. All right. All right, now also, the algae itself has another amazing ability. Not only is it herbivore mutton, it also can be used in a cooking pot to craft up this new engram that just appeared in everybody's cooking pot, which is algae sushi. Now, it takes 20 algae. It's not cheap. It also takes 3 raw prime fish meat, 10 long grass, and 1 white coloring. It doesn't take any water, which is actually kind of cool, but it does take a substantial amount of ingredients. This is a thing that you're going to want to, make about 10, maybe 15 of these and just have. But yeah, it's going to take you a minute to do that. Now, what these things do is they repair the damaged taming effectiveness that you get for taming things. Now, it is like the algae, it is more effective on herbivores than it is on carnivores by about a 5-to-1 ratio. So say if you're recovering things on an herbivore, it's going to be like around 5 times more effective than it is on a carnivore, but it is still effective on a carnivore. So, but I would not rely too heavily on it. You still may want to use the knockout, if something gets hit while it's unconscious and takes too much of its taming effectiveness. You still just may want to just let it wake back up naturally and then knock it back out again just to reset its taming effectiveness if it's a carnivore. On an herbivore, that's no longer required as long as you have access to this algae sushi. It's pretty dang good. This stuff's pretty amazing. All right, another cool aspect of these guys is you can actually take them and put them up on a trireme. Now, if you're on a stray house, you'll have access to this, which is really, really cool. So, yeah, now this guy, I can adventure around with the trireme, and when I need to go underwater or I need to do something that requires a submersible, I can just launch him into the water, and it makes it really, really cool. All right, so that right there, that is the Archelon. These guys are a great addition to Ark Survival Ascended. I hope you guys enjoy yours. So, yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you click that like button. It really helps me out. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger, and take it easy, everybody.